So let's get to story number one. Comes from informedamerican.com. It's come to this. New York Governor Cuomo bans dancing, even at private events. This is the New York Liquor Authority, which operates at the discretion of the New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo. Of course, you know, Andrew Cuomo is an absolute rock star, has new rules in the frequently asked questions section of his website. So here is a quote here from the State Liquor Authority website. A question here. I'm a licensee that offers on-premises service in a phase 2, 3, 4 region. In other words, basically, we're not completely locked down. I'm in a place where things have been relaxed. Can I have dancing or offer bar games such as darts, pool, or cornhole? Answer: no. Under the Department of Health interim guidance for outdoor dining and indoor dining, all persons who are not already seated should be encouraged to wait in their vehicle and or leave the premises. Congregating other than persons seated at tables is not permissible. Patrons should be standing only for necessary reasons such as use of restrooms entering and exiting. So it's not that here a commentary here. It's not that just applies to nightclubs and bars. The directives also apply to private events such as weddings, which are held at locations that have a liquor license issued by the authority. And so here we go. No, if you're you can have the wedding, but you all have to stay seated. There's no dancing. Not even, I guess, according to this, you can't even have the first dance for the bride or groom. Zach, Talk about BS. Yeah,
it's like dancing at like Catholic high school dances, or leave room for the Holy Spirit. The old nuns used to say. I think like the biggest bullshit. The biggest bullshit to me is I was looking at this one quote that in the article it says among banned activities now includes dancing, cornhole, and karaoke. Karaoke I kind of get because everyone's sharing a microphone. You know, no one's going to bring their own microphone, right? That I kind of get, right? Because you're spitting on this fucking piece. You like, okay, where I grew up, there's this area called Brooklyn Park, and it's like not a great area. You know what I mean? It's a lot of hillbillies and like whatever. But so there was this little tiny bar that we would go to on Friday nights, and we'd always say it would be like Brooklyn Park Idol, because like you would just get these old people up there like singing karaoke, singing their lungs out. You know what I mean? Like spitting all over the microphone. There's definitely going to be some COVID spread over that microphone. I get that.
I see your point. I do. It's not that it's the sharing the microphone. It says, and potentially someone really belting something out is just as, could be potentially initiate a spread as much as like a sneeze or something, right?
The thing I really don't get is cornhole though. That makes zero sense to me, because one, all right, you're in groups of 2 and the boards are 27 feet apart by regulation. Right? What's the difference if you're playing with those people? Okay, so you get 4 people that are probably at the bar by themselves, right? That are playing a game of cornhole. They're sitting at a table. They're closer together than if they're playing cornhole. Yeah. You know what I mean? The cornhole does not make any sense to me whatsoever.
What do you think about billiards? I mean, it's the same thing, right? I mean, you don't.
It is the same thing. Yeah. It is the same thing. I guess the only thing I think about billiards is just, like, every time I've ever played billiards, everyone's really cramped in, because it's usually like the pool table is usually in between the bar, and then you got the seating around the side. I feel like people are usually cramped in together.
But you could do like 50%, right?
Yeah. If you just make sure, like, people can play billiards as long as you just make sure people aren't congregating around it. It's the same way with cornhole. You know, you can't sit there and congregate. But
yeah, it's like when I go to when we've been going indoor dining, I've gone maybe 5 times, say, since May, eating inside. Yeah. And what they do here is it's basically every other table is marked off, and just mark off every other pool table. Why is this so stupid?
No, it is stupid. The other thing I didn't understand about the article is there was this quote that says the directives also apply to private events such as weddings, which are held at locations that have a liquor license issued by the authority. Yeah. So basically, if we have a wedding in my backyard, are we still allowed to play cornhole, dance, and sing karaoke?
I think you probably. I think the technical answer is no, because. Well, I don't know what it is for. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's guidance about 10 people or more at your house. That may be where it would fall under. Doesn't matter what you're doing if you have too many people. But that does bring up a really interesting point, Zach. It brings up a great point about what we've been seeing with this COVID stuff. And we know dancing is not allowed at your wedding. But we've got a little video of what is clearly allowed in New York City. Let's go ahead and play that. So that's what we got. That's what's allowed. That's what's not allowed. And it is interesting. So it's almost like people who try to play by the rules are the victims here, and those who basically take matters into their own hands, or just say, in your example, just screw it, we'll just have the wedding at our house. Who's going to come over here and do something? Unless maybe your neighbor snitch on you or something like that.
I think COVID has got to be the most woke disease ever. I mean, COVID sees the protesters and it says, you know what, I'm not going to infect these people, but it sees, assholes in a bar and it says, you know what, these fuckers deserve to get me. So they, COVID is very picky, choosy like that. It knows it knows what your intentions are when you're congregating.
It's interesting because recent research has found, I think we've seen the structure of the COVID virus with, those spikes and stuff like that. But recent research is also, if you zoom in farther into like an electron microscope or something, there's actually a BLM tattoo on every coronavirus, so you're absolutely right. And then maybe sometimes all the coronas, those spiky things, they all go down and just one comes up with the fist. So you're absolutely right. It is the wokest virus ever.
It is funny though what Cuomo is doing up there, man. He's just pissing people off daily. There's a great quote on informedamerican.com I want to read from Mr. Rodney, not the same Rodney that on our team. This is a completely different Rodney. It says, this New York governor is guilty of murder for all the elderly he has killed in the nursing homes in New York. He needs to be tried and investigated by the Justice Department and not his own investigation. I say send AG Barr up there and clean it up and arrest him and his Democrat conies.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was telling you, he's almost turning into like a Democrat version of Trump, where he just doesn't give a crap and just going to do whatever he wants. And if you challenge him, he'll just, insult you or whatever. I mean, Rodney's actually absolutely right here. I mean, the guy who killed at minimum, I believe 12,000 people dead in nursing homes at minimum. And then there was recent reports over the last week that those numbers, there could be more dead and hidden numbers actually attributed to nursing homes. It could potentially be double that number. It was basically the nursing home virus, if you want to call it that. And then here's the guy that did that is the same guy that has all these crazy rules on other people. And those who want to try to open up their businesses and try to get things back to normal. No, you're not allowed to do anything. But hey, if you want to just go out into the streets, do whatever the hell you want to do, that's okay. It's so weird because this is like the Zoolander movie with Will Ferrell. Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I don't know. Like, I feel like the media is all behind all this. So I start feeling like, do I not understand what's going on?
Yeah.
It gets very confusing, doesn't it? How to make sense of all this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's 100% confusing.
I mean, how do you go through your daily life and you get all this contradictory information, and it seems like the common sense approach is not being advocated, and some more convoluted explanation for why the thing we need to do is the thing that is being broadcast in your face constantly. I don't know. I mean, do you feel the same way?
Yeah. It's confusing. You don't know, you never know what you're going to be getting in trouble before. Right?
We know the one thing you won't get in trouble for, which is doing anything around Black Lives Matter protesting. That seems to be the only thing allowed in our society right now. It is very, very strange. And I mean, we point this out because New York it seems to be the poster child for a lot of the stupidity that's been going on. And then, of course, and I mentioned to Rodney and to our Facebook group about Cuomo taking a victory lap for handling the coronavirus. He's got a book coming out in October. Then the hits just keep on coming. It's absolute BS. Did you have any more on this before we give a rating?
That's it. I cannot wait to read his book.
We'll do it. Maybe we should each get a copy and we'll do a book review.
A live book reading, Facebook Live, Informed American Cuomo's book reading. That's what we'll do.